Recently in tournaments, there has been a resurgence in the Zoroark deck. This here is one of the first lists. As you can see, that's the placements, and I'll go over what exactly we had in the deck shortly. So that's what this video is. Ignore the plant zombies in the background. I'm enjoying the new replant, Rel Plenty. Shameless plug. Right, so already the deck placed 2nd, 29th, and 412th. And they all use the same list. So this list has little differences. The updates being, of course, Lily's determination, and of course 4 copies to maximize draw. But they also are running 3 bosses and a counter catcher, which is up from what they were running before. Because in this new Mega Evolutions format, taking a Mega Pokemon is very easy because you're able to revenge kill them just with our Reshiram. And he's specking the Darmanitan line as the way to get around like problem Pokemon like the Alakazam and all the stage 1 and 2, stage 1s and basics, sorry, that you would see in the game. So it's still the standard list. The draw power is the Zoroark, albeit a hand disruption with Iono, and just 1 Arven reduced because using lazy determination, devotion. You know what I'm talking about, you see it on screen here. Determination. And of course 1 Karate, and because we have such drop on the deck, we only need 1 Arven, and that's about it. Because Arven into Body Puffin and Evo Ray is still a very, very good play. So, that being the case, we could already see that this deck is very, very good against the Megas, but it isn't excellent because only with that 1 copy of the Reshiram means that if they get rid of it or it's prized, there's no good way for us to knock out the Megas, so problems. We also not running the evolution, so that is why deck will be a bit of a double-edged sword. And with that, we'll move on to the second list. Now we're moving on to our second list, and this one is a lot more spec'd. So again, we have a good bit of changes. We have the Serrano, we have the Hildas, no lazy determination in this one. So instead of draw power, we actually go in for a lot more maneuverability, as we have like the Psyduck to stop all those dust line plays. We have Cleffa for draw power in there when we need. We have a backup attacker in the form of our Okidogi X. We have Fez for draw. We have, of course, our Clutch Yvelta to have them stuck in the active while we set up for later. But the thing to note is we are only running 1 Darmanitan in this build and 1 Reshiram. But to make up for that, we have a lot more recovery options, and we also have 3 bosses and 2 counter catchers here. Again, we're still looking for the revenge kill on the Megas, or to outright run out the regular EXs and try to win the prize race. This one also has 2 monkeys, so you can also output that damage and keep things going. The other significant thing of note is that this build doesn't have any Evo Rays, but it does have a lot more recovery in the form of the Super Rod, and it also runs some energy transfers to try and get that energy up with a good play from using the ends PP up and such. Other thing to note, this build also does not contain Janine's secret art, so you actually have to not throw into them, but it shouldn't be too hard as you're running 4 copies of the Zoroark. But this one is also going for a bit more power because of the poison plays with the Binding Mochi, which carries damage on your Okidoki X to 300, but it also increases the damage output on your Zoroarks and such. And even can do the same for Yvelta, which with that Fairy Treat and the Clutch, to actually increase its damage to 70, and that's not to sneeze at, it can knock out a Mimikyu, so that's still a very good play. The deck did place 3rd, 44th, and 268, and you can see why. It has a good spread, has a good maneuverability around a bunch of other decks, it has enough recovery and such to keep things going, because again, it has 2 Tauros as well, so That's pretty good. But that's not it. We still have another deck to go through, and a couple decks actually. So let's go through them right now. Right now, this one took 15th place at LANIC, which is a big deal. So this one's a bit more straightforward. There are no demands. What you're looking for is the setup with Ends Reshiram, and we have as backup the Mega Absol, the Yvelta, as well as the Okidoki EX. So because we're speccing for speed here, we are running 3 of the Janine Secret Arts. We're also doing 2 energy transfers and 2 boss, 2 counter catchers because we're just going for speed. Also, we have a Badu of note, and that will actually be able to hold us those decks by item locking them until we could actually break them through. You also have Penny and Turo, because Penny will allow us to get back our basics, and Turo will allow us to get back our Zoroark to just remove the damage from it. The only disruption in this deck would be 3 Ionos. So that's our draw for, because again we have 4 of the Zoroarks, and we have 2 of the stadiums to get it, 1 of the nest balls, but with this much drop off we're not worried about that. Also we are running 2 of the super rods, meaning we'll be able to get back any Pokemon that are lost, and this build is 4 Serranos. A spec of choice here moves from the secret box into the Hero's Cape, because that gives us that extra bulk that we need, and that's what will carry this deck over the edge. So same plan, just a little bit faster. We're using Janine Secret Art to power up our Pokemon. We not place 1 of our Dark Energies, and that's it. We off the races. We're going to just run it and gun it. That is all the deck doing, running and gunning, and that'll be to get them all the way off. And that carried them to 15th place, which is amazing. We have our final deck that placed 6th and 222nd at Regional Gandask, I guess that is. This build is sort of a hybrid of ones that came before, but in my opinion not as good, but again placed 6, so clearly did something special. When we're looking at it, we'll see right off the bat 2 Reshirams. We're also seeing both the Janine Secret Art, the NSPP up, so we trying to get into that, but 1 copy of each. We have the good recovery with 2 super rods, but this build has an Airy instead of the Badu. And a bigger emphasis here, because we're seeing 2 of the Velta with Clutch, as well as 3 Ionos and 2 Lilies. No Avens in this build, and this build also is running that 2 boss, 2 counter catcher mix, and 2 of the energy transfers, pairing with again the Hero's Cape, no Iware, no Aven, and 7 energy to get you to the same point. You also have 2 of the Monkey Dories, and same thing that comes before. We have a bit more control the aspects, but holding them with the Clutchy Velta in time to get enough energy on either our Mega Absol or to our Zoroark. We get our Pokemon to the bench, we hit them and then revenge kill, and we seeking that 1 more prize, and that's it. And yeah, that's basically the rundown of these decks. So let me know if you find it informative. Feel free to pause and let me know what you think. And that's about it. Bye.